everyone, thank you for tuning in to Simply Me. And before we get into the video for today, okay, let me address my previous video, which was my testimony video. And first of all, can I just say thank you to everyone that messaged me on all social media, by text message and all of that. Thank you guys so much. It means so much. Like, posting this video was so hard. You could probably tell by my energy and like almost tearing up at some parts. Like, it was super hard. Now, I did say that today I would be giving a part 2 of my testimony, but I'm not. Okay, I'm not. Hear me out. The reason why I'm not doing it is for 2 reasons. Actually, maybe 3. 3 reasons. The first one is that for me personally, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot for me to talk about this, and I'm not just talking about it being like an emotional thing, but it's almost like physically painful to go through all of that again. And you know, I just don't, you know, I'm not in the mood for that, so I ain't gonna do that. But second of all is also I have to be mindful not only of my mental health dealing with all of this and telling these stories, but I also have to think about the people around me, being my close friends, and also most importantly my family, who basically found out about all of this at the same time as all of you. So it's a lot more for them to process, which I completely understand. So I have to respect that as well. So I don't wanna, you know, I don't wanna be adding when the first video hasn't completely been digested. I mean, my mom and papa didn't even see it yet. So, you know, I just need to like chill out for that a little bit. It's coming though, for sure. I mean, this platform is to share my experiences, so I'm definitely not gonna talk about it. I will be discussing it, just not today. The third reason, I think I forgot. So there is no third reason, okay? So today, I wanna, I guess, finish off the last video, the testimony video, because I do realize that it ended really abruptly, but it was really because I was emotionally and just physically drained, and I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna end it there. So I just wanna, you know, I guess finish that off. And I am a very hard-headed person. Anybody that knows me knows that. I don't like to listen. It takes a lot to get something through me. So although I was going through all of the experiences that I discussed in my first video, I was still not, I didn't realize that I needed to turn to God for healing and for acceptance, the acceptance and the love that I was seeking in the world, in people. I didn't realize that I had to go to God for that. He did, through many occasions, let me know that, hey, come to me, come back home. I am the one that is going to be able to heal you. He did let me know that through various experiences, which I'll be discussing in another video, but I was just not having it. So, you know, we all go through that one experience. Well, people that are currently working in faith would know what I'm talking about, but we usually always go through that one experience that breaks us down. You think that my testimony broke me down. It really didn't. But there was this one experience that completely broke me down. When I'm saying broke me down, I mean literally I was just, I couldn't have it anymore. Whatever I was going through, I just knew that no amount of alcohol, no amount of drugs, no amount of turning to people for certain things, I couldn't do that. That could not solve my problem. And when you're put in a situation like that, where you know that there is nothing, not yourself, not other people, no substance can get you out of the situation that you're in, you have no choice but to just get down on your knees and pray. And that is exactly what happened to me. I started praying. Like, I don't know where the words came out of, but I just started crying. I'm like, God, I need you. I know I've been turning to other substances, other people for acceptance and all of that. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've done this, I've done that, but God, at this moment, I need you. I am begging you. Anyways, so that's really when I started to slowly but surely, get to know God. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't start going to church or anything like that, but I was getting more aware of the fact that I needed his help to get me out of this situation, because there's nothing that my human self or any other person could do to get me out of that situation. And guys, I wish I could share this testimony with you guys, but when I tell you that I got out of this situation without a single scratch, like, if I could tell you the magnitude of this experience, like right now I am just giving you the tip of the iceberg, but if I were to go deeper and tell you the companies that were involved in this situation and how this situation was elevated, yo, I don't know how I'm sitting here without a scratch. I really don't know. And glory to him for getting me out of that situation, because it was not my doing whatsoever. I don't know how I'm here. So anywho, so when throughout that experience, when I was dealing with, you know, getting myself out of that situation and just slowly started praying and, you know, getting to know God. I didn't own a Bible then. I didn't go to church, not that much, at least. I think I went like once or something like that. And it was just being aware that there is someone out there that is bigger and greater and more powerful than me and all of us, was just the biggest step ever. Because I never believed that. I was limit an atheist. Like, I just didn't believe that there was somebody out there. I'll be honest. I didn't believe that there was someone. I always heard about God and all of that, but I was just like, psh, whatever. I always brushed it off. It was not something that I was interested in whatsoever. So that acknowledgement of there being a superior being was just amazing and a big step for me. So that's how I slowly started. And the way God communicates with me, he's not subtle. God doesn't tell me things like, anyways, he's not subtle whatsoever. The ways that I have gotten the word from God, the ways that God's word has changed me to be the person that I am today, it's always been by conviction. And when I say by conviction, this is what I mean. I mean, it's almost like an order that I cannot, it's like I don't have a choice, you know? And so basically that's how I got out of everything. Like, for example, with alcohol, I remember it was just a random day, like out of nowhere. I think it was a Sunday. I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday, because I have this thing about making decisions on a Sunday so that on a Monday it starts. So I'm pretty sure this was on a Sunday, but I was just going about my life and something was telling me 30 days. Literally, that was it. It was like, for 30 days, I don't want you to drink. 30 days. And it just kept going on in my head the whole day. For 30 days, you're not drinking. For 30 days, you're not drinking. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is in my head. Keep in mind, I didn't necessarily link this to God. I just linked it to, okay, let me just try this. So it was in my head, for 30 days, you're not drinking. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And so as of that day, for 30 days, I just completely stopped drinking. When I say stop drinking, I mean nothing, not even wine. And I love my wine, for those of y'all that know me. Not even wine did I take. And you would think that it would have been hard for me to let go, but it wasn't. It was, I don't want to say it was easy, but I didn't feel, it was just like, oh, I'm going to get a glass of wine. And after, like, no, you can't. And I was just like, okay, I was just going to have water. So it was easy. Like, God was there he helped me through that. You know, he gave me the conviction, but he didn't just say do this and just left me. He was there with me, like making sure that, you know, I was staying on the right track, making sure that I was not trying to deviate from what he told me. I just felt like it's not like I even felt constrained. It was just, I was just following instructions. It was just as simple as that. That's basically how I got my drinking under control, through that conviction. The second conviction was when it came to weed. Like I told you, weed was actually one of the things. I smoked more than I drank, and I could go a couple of days without drinking, but I could not go a single day without smoking. Like, that was like, c'est la base. Like, I couldn't do without it. And again, conviction. I remember I just finished smoking. I didn't finish the blunt, and I had just a little blunt left. And after I was done smoking, before the high kicked in, I got the conviction that I was like, that is the last time you're gonna smoke for 30 days. It's always 30 days. I don't know why. I guess it does take 30 days to form a habit, or I don't know if it's just like you see 30 days every day now, or everywhere, sorry, but it was just for 30 days. And that conviction came in, for 30 days, you're not gonna smoke. So I remember, again, just like the alcohol, it's weird. Just like the alcohol, for 30 days, I was able to stop like this. Meaning that the next day, sure, I got the urge to want to pick up the leftover blunt and light it up, but I didn't. And I remember I had the blunt right next to my bed, and I had a friend that actually came over and she's like, why is that blunt always there? Like, doesn't it tempt you? I'm like, no. Actually, every time that I see it, it just reminds me of why I shouldn't pick it up and smoke it. So again, that's just how I was able to wean off of smoking weed every single day. And for me, that was the hardest way. I just didn't think I could do it, like, ever. It then came to my relationship with other men, my need to constantly have someone, and obviously engaging in sexual sin with those people. And when that time came, again, it was on a Sunday. This one I remember clearly. It was on a Sunday, and I remember just sitting in my room, and then something was just like, you're done. Like, you're done with this man's, you're done with giving up your body in that way. I will not have it. And when the word came to me, it was clear as water, and it was just like, okay. Like, I didn't question it or anything. And keep in mind, by that time, my relationship with God was just getting better, you know, with weaning off of the weed and weaning off of the alcohol. Like, I was getting closer to God. So when it came to that, first of all, I knew it was from God. Automatically, I knew this was from God, but it was just also so easy. And just to think that previously doing something like that was just like, I don't know how I was going to do it, but it was just an easy process for me. Where I remember when I got the word, legit, I think it took me about an hour just to process what was going on, and just like see, okay, now that this is what's going to be happening, how will the things around my life, like, how can I shift things around my life to make sure that I don't break this? And the first thing, obviously, was having that discussion with my partner at the time. I was in a serious relationship at the time, and I remember picking up the phone, and I was like, this is not happening. And I explained it, and for him, he was like, I don't understand why you're doing this. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you mean out of nowhere this is what you want to do? I'm like, yeah, literally, like, out of nowhere, this is what I was told to do, and this is what I'm going to do. So me calling him was not to ask for permission. It was to tell him, like, not that our relationship was over, but hey, just so you know, the sex ain't happening. And again, I want to leave that for another time. I'm gonna make that a story time, because his reaction was actually the funniest thing ever, and we still talk about it today, how for him he finds it unfair, but whatever. All this to say that God was behind me throughout the whole process. I felt like I was alone. I felt like there was no one there that heard me, that saw me, and that just felt the pain that I was going through. But he has always been there for me. And some of you may be like, oh well, if he was there for you all the time, why would he make you start smoking? Why would he bring you that deep into depression or into drinking and all of that? But I can't lie to you and tell you that those experiences didn't shape me. Those experiences are actually the mere foundation of who I am today. I am able to sit here, first of all, and even hold this platform just to talk about this with all of you. So these experiences shaped me as a person. I don't know how to explain it, but it made me a better person. It made me stronger. Surely, maybe I could have gotten myself out of those experiences a lot quicker if I listened to God when he first was trying to send me signs, but I didn't. So that dragged on for longer than it should have lasted. And it's because it was dragging on too long that God made me go through that one experience that broke me down, where I knew that no amount of alcohol, drug, sex, men, no amount of nothing could get me out of that situation. That experience forced me, literally forced me down on my knees to pray to my God for help. And I needed that. Being the hard-headed person that I am, and just seeing how deep in myself and drugs and alcohol that I was in, I needed that. So I take all of this as a learning experience. All of these experiences shaped me to be the person that I am. And that is why when I give my testimony, I am unapologetic, 110%. I'm unapologetic because I would not be me if it wasn't because of those experiences. I would not be sitting here talking to you if it wasn't because of those experiences. I would not be an example for other people to know that they can get out of the situation that they're in right now if it wasn't because of those experiences. So why would I wish that those experiences never happened when they are the ones that in fact shaped me to be the woman that I am today? So that is why when people sent me messages on Facebook being like, hey, you know, you should be mindful of the videos that you put out there because you don't know how it's going to affect you, the criticism that you're going to get. You don't know how it's going to affect your business and all of that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it got to me at first because I did delete the video. Well, I put it on private for like a couple of hours until I realized why. Because it doesn't make sense for me to put this video on private when I put the video out in the first place to share my testimony for his glory. Me deleting that video would have meant that I was seeking my own glory. It meant that I was seeking for validation within the world, within my entourage, within my surrounding, rather than getting that validation from him. And it just didn't make sense because he's the reason why I created this platform in the first place. He's the one that told me, I want you to do this. So why is it that I'm looking elsewhere for what is good and what is not good, what I should keep on, what I shouldn't keep? I should be going to him. If people want to sit and talk about who I was, what I did, what I didn't do, yada yada, that is fine. Hey, it's a free world. Do you, boo-boo. However, please do not expect me to entertain you, because I have a life, I have a purpose, and I need to carry out that purpose. Like, you know, we all got the same 24 hours, but if you want to waste your 24 hours talking about the past, then do you. But my 24 hours, I need to use it wisely, okay? Another point that I want for you to take out of this video is that when God puts something in your heart, He's not just going to put it there and just let you be. He's not just gonna be like, okay, Mark, Bimbo, I want you to do this, and then just let you be. No, he's gonna be there. He's gonna support you. He's gonna give you the tools. God Either he fights battles for you, he makes you go through things, or he will provide you with the tools to be able to fight those battles for yourself. And in my situation, he gave me the tools. For whatever reason, during that time when he put something in my heart, I had the strength, the power to just hang on to this and just do whatever he asked me. He helps me through it because I am a very impulsive person. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm impulsive. And when you had an addiction, part of an addiction is not being able to control your impulses. When you want something, you just want it right now. So the fact that I was able, just after getting a word, able to stop smoking, stop drinking, stop engaging in sexual activity just from a word and not failing, like, God is with you. When God asks you, a lot of the time when God puts something in our heart, we're scared to take that first step. We're scared because not only is it different from anything that we've ever done, we're stepping outside of our comfort zone, outside of what we're used to, but we're also scared that we're going to fail. And that's a lack of faith, because when God places something in your heart, he will give you all you need to make it happen. He will support you as long as you believe that he is there, that he got you 110%. He got you more than you even got. He got you when you don't even got yourself. Like, he is always there. So when he places something in your heart, when he tells you to do something, as hard as it may be because it's outside of your comfort zone, as hard as it may be because you're scared, please take that first step, because you never know what can come out of it. If I didn't take those first steps, if I was just like, like, I don't want to give this a try, I don't want to stop this. If I had that mentality, I wouldn't even be here. Like, I would still be living the life that I lived, which was not a life that anybody should aspire to be living. It's not a good place to be. So just know that when God places something on your heart, he is there with you. He is holding your hand. You may not physically feel it, but he got you 110%. He is there with you. He will help you, help pick you up. He will help you when you stumble. He makes sure that there's no obstacle in your path. And if there are obstacles, like I said, he will give you the tools to be able to overcome those obstacles. God does not just tell you to do something and just let you go and just sit there watching you like, okay, let me see if she can. No, God is your best friend. God he's your father. Like, he's just there for you 110%. So just when you have those convictions, when you have that thing in your head that is telling you to do something, as hard as it may be, trust him. Please, please trust him, because God does not put stuff in our heart. He doesn't ask us to do things for us to fail. God doesn't work like that. He doesn't tell you do this so that you can fail. No, everything that he places on your heart is for your own good, is for your own success, and it will benefit you in some way. It's to elevate you. He elevates people. He doesn't bring you down. He doesn't break you down just to leave you on the floor. Everything he does is for a purpose, and the purpose is always to elevate you. You may not see it now, it may not make sense now, but God is greater than your understanding, okay? A lot of the time we limit ourselves because of just our human understanding. But what we don't understand is that our human understanding is so limited. Like, we understand this much, and God has like everything else. Like, his thinking and his imagination and his glory is like everything else, and we're just here. So how we cannot comprehend him 110%. And that is the whole point of walking by faith. Walking by faith got me out of my situation. Walking by faith got me out of depression. Walking by faith got me out of doing drugs, relying on men, relying on alcohol, relying on people in general to make me feel better. Walking in faith did that for me. Even when I didn't even realize that that was what it meant to be walking in faith. I didn't even know anything then. But that's what it is. Walking by faith is don't let your sight be your guidance. Because a lot of the time when you're walking by faith, you do not see the end result. You do not see the light at the end of the tunnel. But God guarantees that for you. All you have to do is hang on to him and do what he asks you to do, and do not question him. Even when things are going hard, just hold on to him. God is for you, not against you. He will never do things to hurt you. He doesn't work like that. God is a loving God. He loves us with everything that he has. He gave himself up for us. So he's not a God that is an angry God. He's not a God that is mean or that is hurtful. No. He's really, really not. And I'm gonna be making another video about this, but for those of you that feel like you're not worthy of him and his love and his glory and his peace and his joy, you are worthy more than you can ever imagine, and God is just waiting up on you. He's just waiting for you to make that step towards you. He's been sending signs to you to come back home, but you just feel like you're not qualified. But you are. You are. God is not looking for perfection. He's not. I mean, what is he going to do with perfection? To be honest, like, there's no work to be done there. First of all, perfection doesn't exist. God is looking for those that are broken, those that are suffering, those that are lost. That's what he wants, because he wants to bring you closer to home. And he also wants to use you as a testimony for the world, for other people to see his glory. So please do not miss out on that opportunity. Don't block your blessings because you don't feel worthy. You're more than worthy. I'm worthy. Not only now, but even before. Even when I was smoking, I was worthy. When I was drinking, I was worthy. I have always been worthy. I just never knew it. I just didn't feel like I was. But I was always worthy to God's eyes, in God's eyes, and that's all that matters. Anywho, this was just to wrap my first video up. I kind of left you dry, and I just had to like close it and just letting you know that God is for you. I don't know what you may be going through, but God is for you. He's there for you. He wants to help you. You just have to let him in. Because if you're closed up and you don't want to hear anything, and he's trying to reach to you, he keeps blowing up your phone, but you don't want to pick up, he can't communicate with you. He can't let you know and bless you and just let you know of all of the blessings that he could possibly pour on you that you are not even aware of, that your mind cannot even fathom. That's it for today. I really hope to see you in my next video. I don't know what it's about. I'm just not going to make any promises anymore with my videos. I'm just, whatever you get is what you get, okay? But I'll see you in my next video. I really hope that my video was able to bless you and showed you that no matter where you came from, no matter what you've done, you have a place in God's kingdom. He is waiting on you. A lot of the time we feel like that we are waiting on God, but no, God is actually waiting on you. And it's time for you to realize that, realize your just value, and come back home to him. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and that's it. See you in my next video.